Coming up now in your spoiler-free wrestling news rundown, some people in WWE have grown frustrated with what they see as a double standard regarding The Rock's language in promos and on social media. Becky Lynch was at the White House this weekend, and we've also got news on just how much longer Jim Ross plans to be an active pro wrestling commentator. All that and more coming up now. There is frustration growing in WWE regarding a double standard that exists involving The Rock not having to adhere to TV PG guidelines in promos on television or on social media. So this all started a couple of days ago when a writer by the name of Aaron Varble from SE Scoops published a report, and up on your screen now is a tweet that Aaron Varble posted. He wrote, WWE higher-up sent out a memo a few weeks ago to talent reminding them that they need to stick to PG language even on social media. Then The Rock gets to drop as many F-bombs as he wants to online, even on live television. Now there is a problem. I am told that a lot of the talent are asking why The Rock gets a pass and no one else is allowed to curse. The thinking is that even if he is the big movie star, shouldn't everyone play by the same rules so he can curse and use that to get over, but everyone else is handcuffed? The Rock seemingly responded to this report on Sunday when he posted the following to social media. He included a video of the Rock concert he performed in Memphis on Friday's SmackDown, and he included the caption, "You sound like somebody The Rock can love, drunk and horny. Networks and standards and practices have issues with my language, but I'd rather be real than not. I talk from the heart, shoot from the hip, and try to always have fun. Enjoy the Rock concert from the final boss." Now, on Monday, Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer newsletter published a report which went into a bit greater detail than the SE Scoops one did a couple of days earlier. Up on your screen now, this is just a snippet from the report that Dave Meltzer put out on Monday. So Wrestle Purist has transcribed it. They wrote, "There's been talk among WWE talent and outside with some frustration about the double standard involving Dwayne Johnson. One person noted he does what he wants, and because he's on the board of directors, nobody is going to say anything to him. He also has an entire team of representatives that he surrounds himself with, so any issues, they handle it, while he stays out of the mess." One person noted that there was a feeling that the era of Vince McMahon's double standards for his handpicked stars and for everyone else was over under Paul Levesque. It has also been reported that WWE gave Fox the script to The Rock's Rock concert ahead of time before Friday's episode of SmackDown, thus allowing them to bleep any moments that they did not want to air on their network. Ireland's Becky Lynch spent St. Patrick's Day at the White House celebrating with the president and his staff, and she wrote of the experience on Instagram. "It was an honor to represent Ireland and WWE for St. Patrick's Day at the White House. POTUS said Becky Balboa is winning it all in Philly. Had myself a pint and even classed up the library with a little gift." So you can see here, she has put her autobiography in the White House library, and she has included a little picture here of her reading her own biography and having a little laugh at one of the funny stories contained within. So Becky Lynch, what a crossover star. She's at the White House. In a New York Post interview talking about the event, Lynch said, "I got invited to the White House because I'm Ireland's national treasure. It's a big Irish celebration, so I'll be there." And we're recording this on Monday. Becky Lynch has a big match tonight on Raw. She'll face Nia Jax in a last woman standing match. And New Japan Pro Wrestling has re-signed Gabe Kid, a member of the Bullet Club War Dogs faction. Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful had wrote that Gabe Kid is re-signed with New Japan Pro Wrestling, and Gabe Kid responded to the tweet by writing, "You're welcome," and tagging New Japan Pro Wrestling president Hiroshi Tanahashi. And according to a report from Fightful, Gabe Kid's contract actually expired back in January, but he had continued working New Japan Pro Wrestling dates without a contract. Vikingo has vacated the AAA Mega Championship So as we noted in a previous video, he suffered a ruptured ligament and a torn meniscus on a match in Mexico on February 17th. He had surgery to treat the injury not long after. There is no timetable for his return. He's going to be out for a long time. So he vacates the AAA Mega Championship after 833 days and 23 total defenses. He is the second straight AAA Mega Champion to vacate the title due to injuries. The previous champion was Kenny Omega, and he vacated the belt in November 2021 after having held it for close to 2 years at that point. So AAA has announced that they will crown a new champion at AAA Monterrey on April 27th. They held a qualifying match at an event in Mexico City over the weekend where Alberto El Patron defeated Cibernetico and Psycho Clown. So he has earned a spot in the AAA Mega Championship match at AAA Monterrey as a result. And bad news for Darby Allin. His plan to climb Mount Everest is going to be postponed until at least 2025 after he suffered a broken foot in his match against Jay White at AEW Big Business last week. So it was confirmed by TMC Sports that he broke 3 bones in his foot during a spot where he attempted to land a senton on White from the top rope. Allin wrote, "Unfortunately, the foot's really broke from Wednesday's match. Everest will have to be next year." Darby Allin's opponent from AEW Big Business, Jay White, wanted to make sure TMZ had a more accurate and responsible headline for the story. In response to TMZ's headline, which reads, "AEW's Darby Allin breaks foot weeks before Mount Everest attempt," Jay White corrected it with, "Jay White breaks AEW's Darby Allin's foot weeks before Mount Everest attempt." So thank you for that, Jay White. There is great news for fans of Josh Barnett's Bloodsport. The annual event, which normally takes place over WrestleMania weekend, will include Shayna Baszler this year. WWE has granted Baszler permission to perform on the show. Baszler and Josh Barnett go back a long ways. They're both pioneers in MMA. Josh Barnett and Triple H are said to have a friendly relationship, and this is said to just be part of the new WWE with Triple H in charge, and things like this can happen. Josh Barnett wrote on Twitter, "What does it mean when a queen takes up the sword and marches to war? Blood, victory, glory. From battlefields all over the world, MMA and the UFC, NXT, WWE, Stardom, and more, to now step in a ring she was made for from the beginning. The War Master's disciple, the Queen of Spades, Shayna Baszler, comes to Josh Barnett's Bloodsport 10. Shayna Baszler tweeted, "You people merely adopted Bloodsport. I was born in it, molded by it. From Billy Robinson, the gene seed of the War Master himself, blood for the blood god, hashtag limb by limb." So that event takes place Thursday, April 4th. It will air on Triller TV. And Jim Ross mentioned on his Grillin' JR podcast that this year might be his last as a pro wrestling announcer. He recently revealed that he'd signed a new 1-year deal with AEW, and when asked if this could possibly be his final year, Ross said, "I think so. It's realistic to think that way. You know, I'm 72 years old. I feel good. I'm getting healthier every day, which is great. But I can think realistically this could be my last year, and more than likely will. That's to be determined. That's between me, my health, and Tony Khan, seeing how much to utilize me. Right now, it's a good plan because I'm essentially working, as I understand it, pay-per-views only. So that's where you'll find me once a month working these pay-per-views as the plan goes as we speak. We all know that in pro wrestling, things change on a fly and things could be different, but I don't think so on this occasion." So JR mentioning, basically his schedule is just pay-per-views right now, and it's entirely possible that this is his last year as a commentator. WWE Raw takes place tonight from the PNC Arena in Raleigh, North Carolina. It's a little bit under a sellout right now, which is going to break a long streak for WWE. They've got, at last check, 12,306 tickets out, with just a few hundred there still on sale. So here is what's scheduled for the show. We will have a contract signing for WrestleMania involving Gunther and Sami Zayn. We will see a WrestleMania 40 Tag Team title ladder match qualifier as the Awesome Truth, R-Truth, and The Miz take on Indus Sher, that's Veer and Sangha. In another WrestleMania 40 Tag Team title ladder match qualifier, we will see DIY Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa against the Creed brothers. And in yet another WrestleMania 40 Tag Team title ladder match qualifier, the New Day will take on Alpha Academy's Otis and Akira Tozawa. And in what is likely the main event, or is at least the most high-profile match on the show, a last woman standing match pitting Becky Lynch versus Nia Jax. That's all tonight on Raw. And that's going to do it for this video, everyone. Make sure to smash the like button, the subscribe button, and the notifications bell, and we'll see you again next video.